It is officially now 2025, a new year. Today I am sharing some Christmas undecorating and how I store it simply and affordably, and also some major decluttering in my kitchen. Who knew that on this day I'd be filming? It would be 60 degrees at the end of December. For the Midwest, that is crazy. Upper Midwest, I should say. But that just makes it all the more exciting to take down my Christmas decor. This is the earliest I have ever taken down my Christmas decorations, as I usually wait till after the new year. But man, that itch was upon me, that almost spring-like weather. The birds were chirping outside. It really just made me feel like I'm ready for a fresh start. And 2025 is a great time to do that. So I am taking down a lot of my decor in my kitchen. Most of my decor could be winter decor. I don't do Santas. I don't do red and green a lot. I do a lot of greenery. So it would work well all throughout the winter months. But I just feel like I need to clear my slate of my decor, clean the house a little bit, and get things set for the new year in my home. So we had finished our advent calendar, and that is an advent calendar I found used. Beautiful, fun little piece that we love doing throughout the Christmas season. And then time to just take down all the other touches. Some of these areas you don't see in any videos, but my stockings filled with greenery and over my coffee station. Then it's time to actually declutter my totes that contain my Christmas decor. So I have 3 Christmas totes, and then we put our Christmas tree and my girls' new Christmas tree in the boxes again. So the totes needed some going through. After I decorated, I kind of just threw a few things back in there and left some other greenery items that I really wasn't sure if I'd use this year or not. And they'd been sitting in there for a while. So one year I did a lot of eucalyptus for Christmas, and it's been several years. So it's time to get rid of some of those and just to reorganize my bins. So in the next year, I know where things are at and I can find it much easier. So it must have been the year for snow globes. My kiddos got lots of snow globes for Christmas this year. So I wanted to label just a shoebox, wrap them up, and tuck them into the tote. Like I said at the beginning, it doesn't have to be fancy store-bought organization bins. You can use old shoe boxes and boxes that you get in the mail and paper to wrap up those breakable things. Use gallon bags you have on hand. You'll see later, some Walmart bags to store things. Anyways, just to keep things separated. The greens and ribbons I had hung in my kitchen are now labeled the kitchen. So if I want to do exactly the same thing next year, I've got it in that bag and it'll be easy to find. Moving on to my piano area for undecorating, I'm going to leave that art piece up as it is my favorite art piece. And I honestly could leave it up all year. I just think it's so beautiful. But I am taking down the other ribbons, the greens I had in my Crocs. I'll be moving my plant back out under the art piece that I usually have out there. But it's time to just tuck other things away and, again, organize it simply. Now it's time to put all the ribbons in a bag, put my flocked little trees and bottle brush trees in a bag, and again, just keep everything streamlined. So when I open it up, oh, there's my Walmart bag for you where it said living room greenery. So like I said, pretty affordable there. Anyways, keep everything streamlined and just easy to access. So the next year when I open it, I know exactly where I had stuff. And if I want to keep it that way, I can. I don't always keep my decor the same every year, but I'm all about simplifying and keeping things pretty minimal, so I might. I felt like I neglected the kitchen a little bit in December because it was very busy and a well-loved kitchen, baking all those cookies, lots of extra meals, just lots of time spent in there, but not doing a good deep clean. And with extra decor, it is a little bit harder to dust everything off so well. So that's what I love about taking things down and not putting anything new up. It's just an easy way to wipe stuff down and keep it simple. By the way, you've probably noticed my counter is super cluttered with stuff right now. We had a few Christmas presents still left on the counter. My husband's laptop was still on the counter, and we don't have an office space in our home. So sometimes the countertop becomes our little office space or the kitchen table. So that is the current status of my kitchen. Oh, and you can see the living room too. I'm keeping it real, friends, as kids are playing and people are living in the home. And so it's just what it is. But I can still get cleaning done. Even though there's other little messes around, cleaning can still happen. Like I said, it was almost 60 degrees and we're outside in sweatshirts at about 11:30 in the morning. Such a strange time to be right at the end of the year, end of 2024 when this is filmed and we're in sweatshirts. So I did a little outdoor cleanup as well. Got some sticks that had blown and we're just doing some yard work while we're outside. After lunch and now nap time, it's time to get working on the decluttering. The counters have been cleaned off, so now I have space to put everything on there so I can see what I want to get rid of and what I want to keep and what else needs to be packed away for Christmas in my Christmas bins. So this cupboard is one that bothers me a little bit. It is pretty organized. It doesn't look that way, but top are our extra teas and all our supplements. Middle is essential oils, natural rubs and remedies, and dried herbs, and a few of my canned teas like matcha. And the bottom, of course, is all the mugs and extra coffee supplies. We do have our espresso station, but that's more for just our espresso. And look at this. I have two of the same French presses. Ours was getting pretty beat up, and I found one at Goodwill for only $3. You can find them on Amazon, but they're closer to $27 or $30 a piece. So $3 for a brand new French press, I couldn't pass that up. And so I'm just ready to get rid of my old one. So the new one will need to be washed up. And the diffuser doesn't usually sit in this cupboard. However, my little boy has been wanting to play with it, so it needs to be tucked away. All right, so that cupboard is mostly decluttered and pretty much organized in a way that my family can see it and it can function. Got rid of some mugs and tucked away some of those Christmas ones. So unfortunately, this ironstone little piece broke, so I am going to get rid of that. I love ironstone, but I am going to donate that to someone who might enjoy a half-handled little piece. All right, this next area is our glass storage container area and a few of my vintage pictures, and I had pumping stuff still. I'm not pumping anymore. I don't need the pumping bags, so I need to tuck those into a different tote, my maternity tote, and not have those up in the kitchen. And then just, of course, got to check everything out to see, do I want to keep this? Do I love it? Will I use it if a guest comes over? Or is it even worth saving? I I think sometimes cabinetry and cupboards just become a catch-all, like canning jars. We've been having construction in our basement, and that's where I usually put them. And so I just kind of made it a catch-all. And so extra canning jars are just haphazardly strewn about in my cupboards, and extra Christmas platters and just other little gifts that we were given. For some reason, it was the year for snow globes and popsicle molds, and I don't need 12 popsicle molds. I've actually honestly never made homemade popsicles before. Not saying I won't, but I'm only going to keep one because that would be something fun that I could see myself doing in the spring and summer months. So I'm going to keep 6 and donate the other 6 to someone who will enjoy making them more than I do. So this cupboard is basically a Narnia cupboard. It goes around the corner next to our dishwasher there. So it would be a great hiding spot if it was left open. But then I find things in there that I forgot I even had, like a round ironstone serving platter, which I love to use serving platters when guests come. So that's good to recall in my memory that I have that and bring it forward more. Those knives I pulled up, those are in the maybe because some of my knives are getting a little worn. But there's just things that it's good to recall that you have and to remember to use those. Otherwise, if you're not, just get rid of it. Cupboard has become the Christmas goodies catch-all and leftovers and sugar treats catch-all. So kids got a lot of treats during Christmas time, and I also had leftover pretzels and checks for puppy chow and things like that. So it's time to get rid of those. The treats can be donated to our local food pantry for other people to enjoy, but I like to reset our bodies in the new year as well. So a lot less sugar, not that we eat a lot anyways, but Christmas time we often have treats and goodies handed to us, and my own that I make. So it's just time to get rid of those. This cupboard also stores like our glass milk jars and my kombucha jars and cookbooks on the top as well. So I have a binder that I need to reorganize for another time with recipes I've printed out. But as you can see, it's not super organized yet. Time to do that probably this year as well. And cookbooks that I just never used or that really are not my style of cooking. They have some great home style meals, but just not things that I would probably see myself pulling out anymore. So the kitchen has been decluttered, and I'm sure as I go throughout January, I will be able to get rid of more pieces that I am just not using or wanting in my kitchen. The cookbooks, these rusty baking bread pans, because I got some new stainless steel ones for Christmas. My cutting boards that I'm sure are leaching microplastics into my food and are nasty stained. And so just time to donate or throw away. Now that everything is decluttered, I cleared my counters pretty much completely off. It's time to oil my butcher block countertops. They are a raw wood, so it takes a little maintenance once a month to oil them. And obviously, during the Christmas season, I did not manage my counters as well because there was extra stuff on there. And so it's time to just treat it with some love, give it a good butcher block oil, and I can link the oil I use in the description box for you as well, because it works well on cutting boards and my wooden utensils. So I like it a lot for our butcher block countertop, and it just gives it that nice shine and shimmer and gives it some more life. We DIY'd our kitchen about 8 years ago already, and it's had a lot of love and wear and tear, but that shimmer and shine just gives it a little new life. The sun is still shining bright as the evening starts to settle in, and I'm going to share a broccoli cheese soup recipe with you made in the Instant Pot. My crock pot, which I wanted to use, was actually not in our home at the moment. I had lent it out to someone. So I figured out how to do it in the Instant Pot, and I think it turned out wonderfully and delicious. So I can link the recipe for you in the description box. It's not my own, but sometimes it's nice to just be able to find someone else who has already created that recipe for you, right? Anyways, so I'm making that up because I just love soups in the winter. You know, in the new year, resetting our bodies with homemade, from scratch food is important. And then you thicken it after it's cooked for a while. I'm using raw heavy cream and some arrowroot powder. And then you get to add the loads and loads of creamy cheese. And I get raw cheddar cheese from Azure Standard, which if you were interested in being a customer of Azure Standard and enjoying the benefits of all that you can get through this wonderful company, then check out the description box for more information on that as well. So getting the soup ready with homemade sourdough bread to dip that in, of course. And I also have a delicious garlic honey that I am going to be drizzling over the bread because it's that time of year where immunity needs a little boosting. And so several months ago, I had soaked garlic in honey, and I will just drizzle that over our bread, and it makes this really delicious sweet garlic drizzle, great for that sourdough bread and the delicious soup. So hope you enjoyed a little bit of what the new year has brought for me, that you guys can undecorate your home and pack it up nicely and affordably and simply from the Christmas season and jumpstart your year into a great one for 2025.